Imagine standing on stage. One wrong word, you're out. A career in shambles. Deported. In a city where building a comedy empire sounds impossible. This is the story of the man who did it anyway, not by breaking the rules, but by rewriting them. His name is Ali Al-Sayed. Esquire magazine calls him the Comedian of the Year. Rolling Stone named him one of the funniest people in the Middle East. He's performed at the Edinburgh Festival Fringe. He's shared stages with legends. But 15 years ago, he wasn't a comedian. He was just a guy in a suit organizing corporate events. And then he made a decision that would change the culture of the UAE forever. Ali grew up in an Arab Muslim family in the UAE. Supportive, loving, traditional. Like many kids, he wanted to be funny. He wanted to make people laugh. But here's the problem. There were no comedy clubs. No industry. No path. In the Middle East, comedy wasn't a career. It was a hobby, something you did at family gatherings. Ali got a corporate job, event organizer. Stable, safe, predictable. He started an online magazine called Viva Dubai, the country's first English entertainment publication. He was building community before he even knew that's what he was doing. But something was missing. He was facilitating other people's art. And deep down, he knew he had a voice of his own. The problem? Nobody took him seriously. He looked like an accountant trying to tell jokes. Here's the thing about comedy in the West. It relies on shock value, profanity, taboo subjects. George Carlin had 7 words you couldn't say on TV. Ali had none. In the UAE, the rules are different. You can be arrested for cursing in public. So how do you make people laugh without breaking the law? Ali had to invent a new toolbox. He called it Halal Comedy. Comedy that respects cultural norms. Comedy that connects instead of offends. Comedy that people in the Middle East could actually see themselves in. But building that was nearly impossible. In 2008, the financial crisis hit. Ali and his wife Mina, a New Yorker who became his business partner, launched Dubomedy Arts, the first comedy and urban arts school in the entire MENA region. They were teaching people to joke in a place that still viewed comedy with suspicion. They were training an army of comedians in a country that didn't even know it needed them yet. People thought they were crazy, and honestly, they might have been right. But here's where Ali found his superpower. His voice. Literally, Ali can mimic everyone. The Indian schoolteacher, the Lebanese party girl, the Filipino shopkeeper, the Egyptian taxi driver. In seconds, he becomes a cultural mirror. He makes fun of every expat community equally, including himself, including his own culture. Everyone has these stereotypes about Emiratis, he jokes on stage. But growing up was tough. We only had one Ferrari, and it wasn't even this year's model. The crowd loses it, because he's not attacking anyone. He's including everyone. He's turning Dubai's melting pot into a shared laugh. And then he pushed further. One of his most viral jokes. ISIS is like the Kardashians. We don't like them, but we made them famous. The audience hesitated, then erupted. He took something terrifying and made it ridiculous. He proved that if you can laugh at the worst of it, it loses its power. That joke could have ended his career. Instead, it defined it. Ali Al-Sayed became the first Arab comedian to perform at the Dubai Comedy Festival with his own TV special, Honestly Speaking. He took his show, Big in Dubai, to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. He co-hosted Comedy Central Presents, the first GCC stand-up television show. Esquire named him Comedian of the Year. Rolling Stone called him one of the funniest people in the region. But his biggest win wasn't about him. It was about the ecosystem. Dubomedy became the launchpad for a generation of Middle Eastern comedians. He produced Funny Girls, the first all-female stand-up troupe in the region. He coached Hollywood actor Naveed Negaban on diction. He became the godfather of a comedy scene that didn't exist when he started. Ali Al-Sayed didn't just become a comedian. He became proof that laughter can exist anywhere. He proved that comedy doesn't need to be vulgar to be viral. He proved that a Muslim comedian could stand on a global stage and talk about his culture without hiding. And he built an industry from scratch with his bare hands. No blueprints, no mentors, just a microphone, a vision, and a belief that the Middle East deserved to laugh. He didn't wait for the industry to find him. He built it himself. And that is the funniest, most inspiring joke of all. If you want to see more stories about people who built their own empires, hit that subscribe button. Because the greatest punchline is always the one you write yourself.